I'm John Revel, Principal and CEO at Strode College. So I thought I'd start off with a bit of a montage of the last year of what our students have been involved in. Our students have been heavily involved in the community, working for things like Duke of Edinburgh, and engaging with the wider community, including London Community Kitchen. We were also very lucky that a number of students who have been in London, they had an audience with the King. Just an amazing experience in the last year. Okay? So look at the scene setting. So Strode College is a £13 million college. What does that mean? We're actually quite a large size school, but we're not a size of a school. We've got around about 1,400 16 to 19-year-olds. We've got some apprentices, some higher education, some adult learning, but predominantly we are that college school environment from our 16 to 19, so that halfway house between university and that halfway house between education here and employment. Okay. We deliver predominantly, I think it's about 70% of our learners come from the Mendip region, but wider Somerset as well. And we deliver education skills to that local community. And that's from our outstanding nursery provision all the way through to our higher education degree programs, of which we offer 6 or 7 routes. Okay, we were rated outstanding by Ofsted for attitude, behaviour and attitude for our students. They specifically stated the respect between students and staff and students was amazing. I think the only, very positive we got is that one of our students told another student we're dropping some litter during the Ofsted visit. It was that powerful. Okay? And we've invested significantly over the last few years and continue to do so in resources for the college. Okay. Again, I'm assuming the majority of people in here are here with their sons or daughters starting college in September. So a little bit about the size of that. So as I say, we've got around about 1,400 16 to 18-year-olds, of which around about 60 to 70% are level 3 learners. And that gives us an opportunity to really support learners in their academic and pastoral support. So that supportive nature makes Strode College Strode. Okay, what we offer? Yes, we offer courses. Yes, you'll come here, you'll do a bag of A-levels or a vocational qualification. But what we're really interested in is about the aspirational career-focused learning. What are your aspirations when you leave the college? Most learners are here for 2, 3, possibly 4 years. What will they do on the next steps? How are we going to help prepare you to jump on to university, jump into employment, jump onto an apprenticeship? So what are we going to do? What conversations, and how are we going to support you on that? Very much that halfway house onto that next step and that next stage in your life and your career. So we're not just about a course, and there is something here for everyone. And later, my colleagues down the front row here are going to be explaining a little bit about our curriculum offer, and our curriculum offer being very much about professional, vocational, T-levels, A-levels. We'll mention a little bit about what T-levels are, and apprenticeships offer, and technical. So we have a whole breadth of provision, all the way from level 6, all the way down to foundation level. But the core of our 16 to 19s is level 1 to level 3. Okay. And then just a little bit of mention about what resources we've got here. Some of you might have already seen this little video. It lasts about 4 or 5 minutes, but I'll let you explain some of the resources here. Thank you. It always feels like a TARDIS when I look at that video and how much resources we've got in this college, which is amazing. Okay. So talking what I was talking before about that aspirational career focused working, we are working with an ever increasing, this is just a sample of employers for opportunities to apprenticeships, for our team levels to have work placements and to work experience for our students. So that list is just the more recent list of employers that we're working with locally and nationally. But also it's important to look at the universities where our students go as well, and we're working very proactively with all these universities. A significant number of our students go on to higher education, and I'm a chemist, and one of the brilliant things this year is we had 2 applicants for Oxford University of Chemistry. One got in, it's brilliant. Yeah. And working with the community, we're very much a community college. Don't expect you to read this, please don't. But this is just to sort of explain that we're working with our local civic partners. You know, we've got an aspiration to hopefully set up within Cheltenham Lads, Glastonbury and Street and Youth Council, working with the local councils. The employers on that list there, those employers that are proactively giving back into the college as a master classes for our students and our staff. Education, we work proactively with all the local schools, secondary schools, primary schools, and that also gives opportunities for those work placements and that experience within the school sector. And very at the beginning, there's the civic or the voluntary sector. We work with the Red Brick Building and a whole host of the voluntary organisations within the Mendy region, wider Somerset. So there's opportunities for learners to engage. Okay, capital investment, you might have seen there that there was some excellent resources and facilities. What you might have noticed was the building site as you walked in. That started on Monday, and what we're developing there is we put a bid into the for £1 million. We got it, and we're developing what we're calling Strode Creative Immersive Learning Labs, which you will get to use in your time here because it will be up and running for September the 30th this year, I guarantee you about it. Just out of interest, who's applied for some sort of digital qualification or creative qualification? 2, 3, a few. Okay, the opportunity is that the students, the holy grail is that the digital computing students will write the resource that will be used by the creative staff and the creative students. We have a green screen technology room that you'll see there, and this will be open in use for all our students and accessible. And I think it's over to you, Anne. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So pleased to see everybody here. My name's Ali Leveland, and I'm the Deputy Principal here at Strode College. And basically, I have 2 major responsibilities. One is about what is being delivered to all the students out there, and the second responsibility is what is delivered is good quality. So they are my 2 responsibilities. So, first of all, I just wanted to say well done, everybody, for making an amazing choice. And I would say that, wouldn't I? But actually, we have just been through an Ofsted, and we had so many positive things that came out of the Ofsted. So they say that we are good, but we have lots of outstanding features. For anybody in the room who knows anything about Ofsted, they'll know their reports are never very brilliant. Again, we say this quote, which was quoted to us before, which is they're very anodyne. However, you can see all the comments there that we've pulled out, which are some of the great stuff and great feedback we got personally about the college. And the great thing is we are now really clear on what we need to do be outstanding, which is really good. So your child is joining us at an exciting time, because we last inspected years ago, 2014, and things change. So to get a good with outstanding features down puts us in a really strong position. But you can see there's some very key things that come out of here, and that is that our students are so well behaved. And they really are. I've worked in several colleges, and the students here just, honestly, they blow me away every time. They're so polite. So that's really lovely. But also the passion that our teachers have and the drive they have to get the best out of our students. And you hopefully will have lots and lots of communication with your teachers, and you will feel that too. So, the curriculum. So, all the young people that come here full-time are on a study programme, we call it. So, when your child came here and said, right, I want to do A-level, I want to do T-level, etc., that isn't what it's all about. So, there is a lot of wraparound, and we actually do a full programme so that we can really develop young people, not only with the qualifications they need to get to the next steps, but also those softer skills, those employability skills, that actually they need a bit of support and will need for the rest of their life, really. So wrap around on the main qualification. If they haven't got the English and Maths, they will have another opportunity to do English and Maths, and they will have to do it because it's one of the key things that employers want from young people is that they have these English and Maths skills. And you'll see on a slide a bit coming up in a few minutes that we're actually very good at getting students through a GCSE where they maybe have struggled at school. So if you know that your son or daughter needs English and Maths, they're in good hands and we'll work with them on that one. Enrichment. Now, you've just seen some of the amazing facilities that we've had and resources we have. So we showed you music rooms. Those music rooms are not just used by the music students, they're used by all students. You could be doing your 3 A levels, but you're also following your other dream to be this next superstar and to be on that pyramid stage at Glastonbury. You can do that here. You can get involved in the theatre. We do a wonderful show every year, for anybody who knows about it, that the students put on, and it's absolutely fantastic. And all students across college get involved in that. Enrichment is key for us. We want them to do as much as we can to meet new people outside of their lessons, because sometimes they might follow the same students around, and we really encourage them to get involved. We also ask students to come up with their own clubs and societies. So any person out there thinks, oh, you know, you've got a real skill there, why don't you share it when you go to college? Please encourage your child to do that, because we really, really want to hear from that. Work experience, really important, and if students are not quite ready to do work experience, they will do experience of work. If you're doing T-level, you'll do an industry placement, and that's a much more intense form of work experience, so that's 315 hours. And the feedback we get from employers about that industry placement is fantastic. They all want to employ them straight away and say, let me finish the course first, because, you know, then you can take them, please take them. Really important part of their programme. So, and then another key thing we do is tutorials. It's real time for one-to-one time with a personal tutor. So students might talk about things they're struggling with, if they're struggling with things they think they really want to do more, they want to develop. Really good time, but also we give them all those skills they need for life, how to stay safe when they go to university, how to keep them safe just in general life, financial, how to look after their finances, all those things. So there's a lot to be delivered. You can see it's not just about the main qualification, which is a very important part. And we really need to work with you to make sure they get the best of all those opportunities, because they need to attend to all of those things, because then they will leave with a really rounded CV of things that they achieve for their Strode College. And that for us is really, really key for the young people. So, as John mentioned earlier, just to let you know, we have a massive range of different qualifications at different levels. And one of the biggest things I want to get over tonight to you is if you find your son or daughter is struggling, particularly those first few weeks, up to 6 weeks, they're struggling, they're really not enjoying it, they don't like a subject or they don't like the whole subject, please talk to us. And please don't be frightened as parents or carers that you cannot approach us, because that is really, really key. Because if we capture it quick enough, we can find them something that will suit them and we'll work with them. The worst thing is when all of a sudden we hear students not coming in and we don't know why, we can't get hold of them. There are lots of opportunities and we're there really, really to help them. And they need to get on the right course, And we do have a thing called swap, not drop. So about 6 weeks, we say, right, is it working for you? We talk to every single student and say, are you happy with your choices? And they might say, no, I want to change an A level, and we look at that. Sometimes there's blockers in the timetables, we have to work with that, and sometimes we cannot go over that. But generally, we find something for those students. But you might say to your son or daughter, go talk to your personal tutor, but just check on that. You can talk to us too, because we really, really appreciate that round the table with parents conversation sometimes, and we say, right, this isn't working, let's rip it up and let's start again. And we can do that with you.
So I think this is my final slide, but I might be covering a friend's slides in a minute. So really, I want to share with you, if we get it right, if we all work together, if we all work together, this is the sort of thing that we can do. We have amazing results at this college, and we want to get the same results with your child. So really, it is about having that communication with you. The fact that you're here tonight is marvellous, because that means you're already saying, right, I'm here, I'm listening, I want my child to have the best start. So thank you, congratulations to you for coming along tonight, because I know time is precious. So, look at the results. I think they speak for themselves. Like I said, English and maths, we achieve way over the national average. 100% pass rate for T levels, 99% for A levels, 100% for extended diplomas. And, you know, massive progression for our level 1, level 2 learners going up those levels, like I showed those steps a minute ago. And we will support our students to do that. And again, higher education, you know, we deliver higher education. Your parents, if you want to come to higher education at the Strode College, come and do it, you're welcome. But we're offering degrees, and we're getting that kind of results on our first class for degrees here at Strode College. I met students this year who went from psychology A levels and actually are doing their degree here. And they are having the best experience. And I said, well, why are you not afraid of missing out on going to university? And they said, we've got such a social life here, which is fantastic. And I think that's all I need to talk about tonight. I'm going to move swiftly on, and my colleague's here. So I'd like to introduce you to Katrina Rochester, who's the Head of Faculty for Arts and Science. So over to you, Katrina. Good evening. So I purposely didn't put my name on the slide, because when we talked about how we wanted to make sure parents and carers knew about what we did, I said, right, so I'm the Rottweiler. So we're not going to be unkind to your child, but it's important that you do know that there are some expectations around what they will need to do when they're studying with us. So they come to us for a good reason. They want a new environment, they're after perhaps a new subject or a continuation of something they've loved at school. But they need to be ready for that transition. The little bit of difficulty is there are times when young people have come to us from GCSEs and they found that quite a straightforward experience. It put them through gentle paces. When they then move into the next programme, particularly if they move into level 3, it's more demanding. And sometimes that can be a little bit of a rude awakening. So some things for you and for them to be ready for is that transition might be a bit tough. There will be work set outside of class. So we might not call it homework, but it's an expectation that work is done and ready for the next session so we can make progress. So that could be reading for a text. It could be gathering resources that need to be brought into the next session, but there are standards and things that are needed for them to make that progress. There will be independence required in completing their work. That's the difference perhaps between some of the earlier levels and the later levels. Any of our students that are going on to employment-related courses, they are going to be running salons, they're going to be running hospital wards. We will be getting them in training for that, and my colleagues will be talking about that in more detail. So we're trying to make sure they're ready from day one. We do expect what's called honest working practices. Now, at this level, that's making sure you cite your sources, that you do demonstrate where you've got your information from, whether it's visual, whether it's written, whatever it is, so that there's clear acknowledgement where that information has come from, how it supported your discussion, your argument, your essay, whatever it might be. That is something that then takes over into exams as well, and it's practice that students will take on if they go down the higher education route. The boring bit, and the reason why I'm being the Rottweiler is I don't want to see your child crying in my office because something's gone a bit wrong. I really want to make sure they've got some of their habits set up before they start. It's not very exciting. Consistent habits get success. So if they chip away at their work on a regular basis, if they get themselves a regular timetable of study, chances are their part-time job, all those extra things, are going to go nice and smoothly. And although they might have a little bit of a squeak when we come to things like exams, they will get through it nice and smoothly. So it's a really boring message for a 16 and 17-year-old to hear, but the reality is it's true. You can reinforce it at home and say, I told you so, that's the way it works. The things that we offer on top particularly if this is not part of your arena, if you've not been in this part of the world. We have an Aspire programme, and that's for students that are thinking, oh, I've not gone down this route before, I've not considered university, and that gives them some added preparation to help them get into those high quality routes. We also have the extended project qualification, and that's where students have a real fascination for a topic. Perhaps they want to stand out compared to some other applications, and they want to have that in-depth investigation that they can take forward, and some really nice added extra when they're going on to university. The things that we do on the other side so that you can see some of that progress. We do have the ability for you to see your child's attendance and progress grades. Now that usually starts within the first month or 6 weeks of when they start with us. So you're going to see how well your child is doing against the Strode college grade. So the Strode college grade is a target, it's quite an ambitious target, and then you can see how your child is working towards that. You should be able to see their timetable. So if you're wondering, oh, they don't seem to be on that day, there might be a day where they are not timetabled for lessons. They are, of course, welcome to come and use the facilities on campus. Absolutely. If you know and they know they don't have the self-discipline to study at home and you think that's a better thing for them to come in, that's absolutely fine. However, it might be a really good day for them to be at home, might be a good day for them to have a part-time job, all those things that enhance a young person's growth. Most of our communication will be through email. Many of you have already shared your contact details, but it's really useful for us if we do have that and we can make sure we get those messages and updates. And then that's it. I'll move you on to my next colleague, who's not a Rottweiler, that's just me.
I'm head of faculty for Care, Education and Foundation, which means everything from entry level, T-level health and T-level education and early years, and amongst other things. We'd like to welcome you to Strode College community. You'll hear us echo the same messages about respect and community and listening. We do kind of stretch and challenge our students personally and academically and ambitiously, because we want what's best for all our young people. And we do listen to, we ask feedback from students, and we try and respond to that by actioning the things that they require of us, they ask of us. But I guess we would extend the same invitation to you. Please keep us informed, and let's work together to make college the best place it can be for everybody.
Hello, I'm Kate Blackwell. I'm a tutorial manager and acting head of faculty for humanities. We are here to talk to you a bit about, the start of it is today, which is you as parents and carers coming in to be part of your child's sort of journey through college. I know that at school it feels like you have quite a lot of reasonable amount of communication with the school and your child and what they're doing, and we want to extend that to you here as much as possible. So we are asking you please to look out for information, Patrina just mentioned it. We've got a parent portal. You'll be sent information about how to sign up for that parent portal, and that is where you will be able to see, as Patrina said, your students' grades, timetables, and attendance as well. And so if you do keep an eye on that, that's where we can send you that kind of information all the time. And again, also as Patrina said, please give us an up-to-date email so we can contact you quite easily. It's the quickest and easiest way to get hold of most of us during the day, and it's the quickest way for us to get a good message back to you as soon as possible. As well as having the parent portal, your student will have a personal tutor that they will find out about in introduction. That personal tutor is their first port of call if they need something here at college, and they will get signposted to help. But equally for you, it would be the best place for you to contact first if you are concerned about anything with your student or young person and you want to get in contact with the college, get in contact with that personal tutor first, and they can point you in the right direction or hopefully answer your question. I can't really see if I've got it here. The other thing is to look out for information about Wise Pay. Wise Pay is the way that we will ask you to pay for trips, visits and things, lots of exciting things that hopefully your young person or student can get up to while they're at college, and they will find out about registering for that for induction. And also throughout the year you'll be invited as a parent or carer to lots of progress events. There will be an event hopefully in September where you will be able to meet your young person's personal tutor, and through the year you will be able to come to sort of our progress review evenings to find out what they're doing and speak to their subject tutors in a bit more detail. And please follow us on all of our social medias, because that's a very quick and easy way for us to also let you know what's happening here at college.
My name is Angie, I'm Angie Sinicola. I'm Head of Faculty for Vocational Studies, Vocational Services. So as you can see here, from the previous slides that John showed you, there are lots of exciting facilities, lots of exciting industry-approved areas and resources here that we use within several of the campus buildings. So you'll see we have beauty salons, professional cookery in our catering facilities, we have childcare room, barbershop, engineering, a hospital ward. So wherever possible, we are trying to encourage our vocational students to learn in the environment of the industry or the career that they are wanting to follow once they leave us. And with that comes a big focus on the skills that employers are going to need, so things like timekeeping, wearing a professional dress or uniform or a code of conduct that would be required in their chosen career. You can see our beauty therapist there wearing a beauty uniform. Our engineering workshop guy at the top there has got his boiler suit on. So there may be additional pieces of kit or equipment that you may need to ensure that your young person has got when they come to study with us. And it's all about making what we do here real, as real as it would be as if they were in the workplace, obviously with the supervision and the training that goes with that. So our kind of focus and the skills and qualities that we are instilling right from the beginning are timekeeping, attendance, being ready to learn in terms of being professionally dressed or bringing the kits and equipment that they need for their lessons, working in teams and problem solving. And alongside that, that is also supported with by a huge range of employers that come into college, into lessons, take part in lessons with them. So this guy here, as part of our crime scene day. So he came from Avon, Somerset Constabulary and supported us in a real life crime day when our students were working with the CSI team to experience what it would be like. So we had a dead body at the back of the gardens. It wasn't a real dead body, but looking like a dead body. And our students were tasked with finding clues and trying to solve crimes and being part of that team. Our guest speakers are really valuable. So if any of you here are part of any kind of local vocational industry and you would like to come in and support our students, we'd be really interested to hear from you so that our students get a huge variety and excited insight into the career that they're going to be choosing. Okay, that's me. Thank you very much.
My name is Tanya Shotlander and I'm the Director of Student Services, and I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everybody as well. So you've heard quite a lot about our career-focused learning approach, and I thought I'd just like to bring it together a bit. The work experience is a real key aspect for a lot of our students, and if they're not undertaking work experience, then that experience of work is really vital. I would encourage all the parents here, carers here, who have children going into vocational qualifications to start thinking now about what work experience they might be able to do. Although we obviously have fantastic relationships, we're always looking to build those relationships, and if you know of anybody who might be interested in taking on your child on a work placement, those are the conversations to start having now so that we're ready to rumble when they join us. So really start thinking about placements. The reason why this is so important is that we know, after years of working in FE, that the young people that are the most successful are usually the ones that have got a bit of an idea about where they're heading, because then it really gives purpose to what they do here. So we really work hard to understand their goals and their aspirations and to really make them aspirational about their futures. Our students, as Ali said, are just awesome, and they can achieve anything they put their minds to, so it's about finding that fire in their belly. We offer, as you've already seen, so many opportunities for students to develop the behaviours and the attitudes that our employers are looking for. So we give them so many experiences and opportunities. And we do that as well through enrichment. And you've seen all of our facilities, but there are other things that we do through enrichment as well, which helps to develop those skills. Things like our student representation system and our students' union, volunteering opportunities, mentoring. There's a whole raft of things. So encourage your children to get involved as much as possible, because the more they do, the better their CVs look, the better their personal statements look, and it really does enhance their applications. And the tutorial program has a careers program that runs through it. So the tutorial is very much about those life skills, as Ali has said, about getting them ready for their future. But it is also around helping them navigate the difficult choices they need to make in terms of their future careers. So there is a stable careers education program that runs through that. And then we also have career support within the college in our futures area, which is also where our work experience and industry placement teams sit. And your young people can come along at any time and have a chat with the professionals that work there to get that advice and guidance. And I guess a bit of a plea. So as Annie's already said, if there is anybody here tonight who maybe you work for a company that might be in a position to offer experiences for our students, or maybe yourself, you own a company and you think, you know, we could take on a work placement or an industry placement. At the end, there is a QR code where we're going to be asking you for some feedback, which you can scan from the screen, or there are some posters around outside. At the bottom of that, there is an opportunity for you to give us some contact details. We would love to get in touch with you to talk about how we can work with you to further the opportunities for our young people here. And also, if you think maybe you'd like to come in and give an industry talk, then please put your name down there and we will follow that and be very, very grateful. Bringing all of this together is a newish initiative, really going to go guns a-blazing this year with it. We called it Super 8, and what we did is identify the 8 key skills that employers are looking for, and these icons will represent a skill, and I'm going to test myself now. So number skills, living and working in modern Britain, which also covers things like respect for people from different cultures, different backgrounds, and also fundamental British values. Planning your career, digital skills, as John said, that's the golden thread that runs through everything that we do. Communication skills, self-management, resilience, and problem solving. So all of the skills that you've heard about today can fit into this framework. And once the students have undertaken their tasks and their activities and they've developed these skills, and they can talk about them with confidence, which gives them an advantage in interviews as well. We award them with the Super Zone, a Super 8 certificate, which we call the Strode Guarantee of Employability. This shows an employer that they have in front of them not only someone who has the qualifications they're studying for, but also they're well-rounded and ready for the world of work. So we're really proud of the framework, and we are still seeking employers to endorse it. Because ultimately what we would like is if the student shows up with this certificate, the employers in the area recognise it, have endorsed it, and it gives them an advantage when it comes to applying for jobs. So if you would like to get involved in that, we're always seeking employers to come and have a chat with us to make sure that we are on point with the framework, and also we're seeking employers to endorse that as well. So again, at the end, if that's something you think you'd like to get involved in to help the young people in the area, then please let us know. So I'm going to hand over to Luke now.
Hi, so I'm Luke Fielder, I'm Head of Student Services. So part of my remit is safeguarding of your young person, the child. With our recent Strode inspection, they rated our safeguarding as effective, which is a really, really good thing. We have really well-trained staff who are really supportive. The personal tutor will be your young person's first port of call to go to if they've got an issue. And then we can reach out to our Wellbeing team, who can then direct them to the different areas that they may need. We have a wellbeing team who deliver group and support, so we find that peer-to-peer learning and support works really well. But we also have counsellors as well. So if your young person needs any support, please, push them in the wellbeing area, and my team will pick them up. We also refer them to all external agencies, so we use anyone, everyone. We've got really good relationships with them, and we're able to direct them to get the right support for them. We have wellbeing enrichment sessions, so looking after your young person's mental wellbeing is really important to us, and that runs throughout the curriculum. So your young person will be able to engage with us and enhance their mental health. Really, really important, I think, is the keeping our young people safe on site, is the lanyard and the ID card. If you as parents could remind them, I know that they're 16, 17 and 18 young adults, but when they leave in the morning, have you got your lanyard with your ID card? Because without it, they can't get to the buildings, and they will be hassled by every member of staff in the college. And if we keep getting repeat offenders, you may receive a little letter gently reminding them and you that they need their ID card. If they lose it or break it, they can get replacements with us. That's not a problem. But the ID card lets us know who's who on campus. So we have lots of different colours, and it keeps everyone safe. And so if we've got someone who's not got a lanyard on, the staff will challenge them. So we know that our students are safe being at Strode. Okay?
My name is Nigel Rebel, and I'm the College Student Financial Advisor. I'm here to talk to you about money. Coming to college can be expensive, and the government has given the college a pot of money called the 16 to 19 Bursary Fund. I administer this. It's to help your learners, young learners, with their essential course costs, such as the kit, the materials, the uniform, the beauty tunics, the engineering, the safety gear. It's a pot of money to help cover those costs for those who come from a low-income household. And actually we have increased the income threshold this year to £50,000. So if your gross household income is below that, we're able to help with those costs as well as your travel costs. Students come from across the Atlantic area and beyond, and travelling by bus is expensive. So we're able to help towards those costs. We've also introduced an upper income threshold, so if your income is between £50,000 and £70,000, we're able to help with those travel costs only. Application forms will be sent out in the enrolment packs, which you'll get towards the end of July, beginning of August. Those packs will be inviting your young person to come in and actually enrol at the college, but they are available tonight. So if you'd like to have an application form taken away with you tonight, please come and see me in the foyer after. And if you've got any queries, I'll be delighted to answer them for you. Okay? Hopefully I'll see you soon later. Hello everyone, my name's Amy Poe. I'm the Additional Learning Support Manager here at Strode. So that's the equivalent of the SEND home at the school. So if your student had any additional support needs or an EHCP, then you would have worked with them at school, but here you'll work with me. So these are just some of the ways that we support students here at Strode. Our aim is always to help students to prepare for adulthood, and that's whatever course they're on, that's always our aim, is to help them to be as independent as possible. So luckily we've got really good relationships with all of the local schools, so we get a lot of transition information ahead of time. And this will include information such as access arrangements and any additional support needs that they have. If your student has an EHCP, then it's likely you know me already. If you don't recognise me and your students have an EHCP, then please get in touch. And I think that's it from me. Thank you.
So that's it, folks. Thank you so much for your time. We hope you've got some valuable information out of this event. We haven't done it for a while, so it's really nice to start it again. COVID prevents us doing a lot of things that we really enjoy doing, and it's really important for us to meet the parents and carers because, as I said before, working together is the key thing to make everything happen. Just draw your attention, here's the code, you can come up and scan it if you want to, but there are posters everywhere. As we always say in education, there is nothing I can't even say it now. There is never a stupid question. So whatever is on your mind, can you please, please, please come and talk to somebody, because I'm sure it's not a stupid question. And you know, even when I had a young girl come up to me and her mum said, "Can we ask you a question?" She said, "We're really worried about asking this question." And I said, "No problem, ask me a question." She said, "Would it be all right if she dyed her hair purple?" Yeah, that's absolutely fine. We actually encourage an identity at college. So, you know, that's not a stupid question, because that could have put off that young person coming to the college. So there is never a stupid question. Please, our staff will be in the foyer if you've got questions to ask. As I say, the bursary forms will be there. And they're all really, really, you know, willing to talk to you. So please, you know, come along with your questions. If you go away and something comes to your mind, call the college. We'll put you in touch with the right person and we'll make sure we'll answer all your questions. Please give us feedback, because, you know, in the style of being good teachers, we absolutely relish feedback. Is there something you think actually we should have told you tonight, or something we could have done better? Please let us know. And then finally, I wish you and your child or young person the best time here at Strode College. There's everything there for them to enjoy. Yeah, it's hard work. Where's Katrina? I can't see Katrina again. There you are. You know, the Rottweiler, you know, we do want our students to work hard, but honestly, we really want them to have fun as well, because learning should be fun. And so, yes, so finally, once more, thank you for your time. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.